What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back. Another great video by, well, I don't know if it's great yet, but I'm sure it is because the boy WrestleLamia be putting in that work. Let's check it out. All I see is WCW RIP to a legend. I'm scared. Let's see what happens.
It is WrestleLamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a huge scandal in a wrestling promotion, a WCW legend passes away, Roman Reigns is here to stay, bad news for Logan Paul, rumors on Brock Lesnar's return, bad news for Seth Rollins, will Bobby Lashley show up in AEW, an AEW star WWE bound,
We got hella
Logan
news
ready
today.
to sue, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and
Friday,
hit that
so.
notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleLamia XL. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at a big scandal in a wrestling promotion. The Ugandan-based promotion Soft Ground
I've been
Wrestling
seeing
has
this
received considerable
lately.
mainstream attention as fans and wrestlers
My cousin's been sending me Polo, who was on last week. He's been sending me like little clips of this. I'm like, what is this? It's gotten serious now. I know it was the homies wrestling in Africa, which a lot of countries do some independent wrestling like this, having fun, but it's getting
marveled at the
serious.
story of a small promotion that was supposedly helping the underprivileged in Uganda. However, a recent story from BodySlam.net's Cassidy Haynes is casting doubt on many of the claims made by the outfit's promoter. BodySlam.net's Cassidy Haynes commented on the promotion's appeal. Bumbash began to focus his marketing and promotional efforts on the idea that SGW was a haven for young orphans with nowhere to go, no education, nothing to eat, and no prospects for a better future. One could not help but feel their entire body overflow with empathy when reading about these unfortunate kids. While the details are a little too long to document alongside other news, the essence of the story is that the promoter Daniel Bumbash, reportedly one of the many names he uses, has not been upfront about what the promotion has claimed to do and what it's actually done.
Stealing money, I bet,
SGW
somehow,
became
somewhere.
popular after viral videos attracted fans and wrestlers, leading to generous support from the IWC and various wrestlers who wanted to support what was being billed as a good cause. Wrestling Inc. summarized some of these efforts, including a GoFundMe that raised $10,000 to build a wrestling ring. The GoFundMe was followed by Madden and Mansour's Achieve the Dream stream held in May, which saw over $40,000 donated to
They
SGW,
took that.
along with the cost of a van provided by
They took
Mansour's
that.
mother. This was then quickly followed by Rhodes getting involved with the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, pledging to buy a wrestling ring for SGW that would be constructed locally. Unfortunately, as cliched as it sounds, there are more questions and answers about where the funds have gone and what is going on with the promotion. This time, the money was sent to someone in SGW that wasn't Bumbash, allegedly leading him to making threats towards that person. There are also allegations that despite his claims, SGW is not officially registered as a charity, that the idea it helps orphans is either greatly exaggerated or untrue, and that SGW has endangered some of the individuals it claims to help. Bumbash took to social media to deny the allegations, claiming the person cited in the article is untrustworthy. Given the publicity surrounding the promotion and the amount of money donated, you can be sure this story is only the beginning. Next up, sad news as a WCW legend passes away. A legendary booker and wrestler, Kevin Sullivan, has died at the age of 74. With a career dating back to the 70s, Kevin Sullivan competed in territories and
Kevin
later
Sullivan
in
was
national
kinda
promotion
cool. He was kinda bitter
WCW,
that
where he
Chris
also
Benoit
worked
took his
behind the
wife,
scenes
though.
as a booker. Despite only standing at 5'9", the man best remembered by younger fans as the Dungeon of Doom's Taskmaster worked around this thanks to his
Damn, he died out
tremendous
of
in-ring skills
nowhere.
and ability to bump. Later,
Damn.
Sullivan began weight training, developing an impressive physique that helped his career further. For older fans, Kevin Sullivan is best known for his legendary run in
Damn.
championship wrestling from Florida in the early 80s, where he worked as a leader of a dark cult that wreaked havoc on the area's babyfaces. Despite wrestling magazines depicting Sullivan as a Satanist, Kevin Sullivan never mentioned the devil but left things to the fans' imagination. Nonetheless, the story was pure gold and lasted several years. Sullivan enjoyed success portraying the brains behind the factions the Varsity Club and the Dungeon of Doom. His feud with Chris Benoit led to some excellent brawls, and Kevin's wife Nancy Sullivan leaving him for Benoit after Sullivan told Chris and Nancy to treat their kayfabe story of Nancy cheating on Kevin as real as possible. Nancy subsequently divorced Kevin and actually married Benoit. Now, Kevin Sullivan was hospitalized last May after an accident nearly led him to losing a leg. He battled sepsis and encephalitis afterward. And we send our condolences to Kevin Sullivan's friends, family, and many fans. Next up, Roman Reigns is here to stay.
bro.
Roman Reigns is scheduled to appear at tonight's SmackDown, but will the 10th August show be a one and done or the start of a series of appearances? According to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, Reigns is being locally advertised for next Friday's SmackDown in Orlando, Florida as well. Roman is also being advertised for the first episode of SmackDown on the USA Network on the 13th September in Seattle, Washington. Are you guys excited about the original tribal chief's return? Will he reform the OG bloodline? Let us know in the comments down below.
Our local news keeps us informed when others won't, but it's under siege from big.
Next up, rumors on the Bloodline's next opponents. Is Roman Reigns going to feud with the Bloodline? While that's all but guaranteed,
That's
a recent
later down the
Sports
road,
Illustrated interview is providing clues as to two other opponents for Solo Sikoa's new version of the Bloodline. During an interview with Sports Illustrated, Street Profits Montez Ford commented he and Angelo Dawkins are looking to dethrone current WWE Tag Team Champions Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Anytime you get to call yourself a WWE champion, you know that you're at the top of your profession. The chemistry that we have is off the charts, and when, not if, we get a hold of the WWE Tag Team titles, they will be ours for a long time. It's been a long time since the Street Profits held championship gold, and despite a spirited chase against the Usos, Montez and Angelo Dawkins came up short. Next up, bad news for Logan Paul. It's time for a brief look at the latest lawsuit being filed against Prime Energy.
the
Business
coffee.
Insider is reporting the supplier of Prime, a range of energy drinks co-founded by Logan Paul, a controversial YouTuber known for posting in Japan's forest and being accused of promoting a series of crypto scams, is suing the beverage company, saying it cut ties when demand for the once red-hot drink cratered and owes at least $67.7 million. Prime faces a class action lawsuit alleging the brand mislabels the amount of caffeine in it. In addition, Business Insider notes, last month, the US Olympic and Paralympic Committee sued Prime, accusing it of mismarketing itself as being affiliated with the Games and Team USA, an affiliation reserved for its official sponsor, Coca-Cola. The complaint alleges trademark infringement and seeks millions of dollars in compensation. Prime has not yet commented on the lawsuit. The Business Insider story reports that despite initial success, the demand for Prime has dropped noticeably. Next up, Brock Lesnar return rumor. When is Brock Lesnar returning to the WWE? That's the question fans have been asking since the WWE pulled the beast from TV and 2K24 following the Janelle Grant lawsuit against McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE. And now the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there have been discussions of Lesnar appearing at next year's Rumble. Whether this happens is anyone's guess given that the lawsuit is on hiatus until December 2024. Next up, bad news for Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed's recent assault on Seth Rollins set things up so the Visionary could be written off TV for weeks, if not months. But just how long is he expected to be out? As we noted in yesterday's news, Rollins is dealing with nagging injuries and taking time off to recover. Dave Meltzer is providing more details in this week's Observer, saying Rollins is cleared but is still banged up and is trying to get in the best physical condition. His issues are chronic, but not at the point to getting flagged. He's trying to stay ahead of things, so will be taking a little time off. As for what a little time off entails, he speculated, "We're not sure if he'll be back for the pay-per-view or not, but if he is, it would now seem to be with Reed and not with Punk, which makes the Punk finish even more just a way to get out of a match and having Punk lose, although they will no doubt get to Punk versus Rollins at some point." The WWE has shown its savviness at delaying feuds until they can play out at a high-profile show. Depending on how much time Seth needs, it wouldn't be a surprise if WWE held off on Rollins versus Reed until Crown Jewel. Next up, will Bobby Lashley show up in AEW? There's more details on whether Bobby Lashley will appear in AEW and when. Fightful Select reports that the Almighty's WWE contract expires this coming weekend and that he is expected to leave. The Fightful report added that while AEW is interested in him, so is Japan as well as the MMA world. Dave Meltzer discussed the situation on the Observer Radio, saying, "He's on his way out, Bobby Lashley and MVP both. I know that there's talk of them trying to get into AEW. I mean, it's one of those things where technically nobody can talk to them because I don't believe either contract has expired, but their contracts are going to expire." A rumor has it that MVP and Lashley are interested in reviving the Hurt Business in one form or another. Inside the Ropes noted that MVP's WWE deal has already expired. Next up, more evidence that the Lucha Brothers are leaving AEW. Now, some see a recent cancellation as a sign that the Lucha Brothers will leave AEW when their deal expires. Ringside News reported that New Era Wrestling took to its Facebook page and announced that Rey Fenix has pulled out of one of their events on September 27th in El Paso, Texas. Some fans believe Rey may be signed with the WWE by the time the New Era show rolls around, hence him withdrawing from the show. The Ringside News report noted that it's believed that Phoenix's AEW deal expires sometime in August or September, while his brother's AEW contract expires at the end of the year. A PW Insider provided clues about possible names for Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero should they leave AEW. The news site reports that the Lucha Brothers have applied for the trademarks for the following names. To be honest, I'm not going to try to pronounce those. But the Lucha Brothers are a team whose ring work does all the talking for them, and the dynamic duo could work as Los Conquistadors and still wow fans. Do you think the Lucha Brothers are leaving AEW, and if so, will they head to WWE? Next up, an AEW star WWE bound. AEW is looking at the loss of one of its most promising wrestlers, as Dave Meltzer is reporting Ricky Starks is expected to go to WWE when his deal is up. He hasn't signed a new deal, and he turned down an angle for Big Bill to turn on him where he'd been a babyface and now be used anymore. This rumor has been going on ever since Stark stopped competing on AEW TV. The 34-year-old wrestler is seen as one of AEW's best homegrown talents, and while Starks won the 2023 Owen Hart Cup and held the AEW World Tag Team Championship and FTW Championship, there are questions about why he didn't get to do more. Would you guys like to see Ricky Starks in WWE? And finally, Hulk Hogan ready to sue. Last
Give him
but
a
not least,
chance.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck find themselves in court thanks to the power of Hulkamania.
No.
TMZ is reporting that Hulk Hogan is watching the pending film project titled Killer Gorka. The movie being produced by Damon and Affleck concerns Hulk Hogan's lawsuit against Gorka after the suit uploaded a private tape of the Hulkster. Recall Hogan's racist remarks on the video led to his temporary exile from the
Hulk
WWE
Hogan
and a
from
wave
that.
of bad publicity. The TMZ story revealed sources connected to Hulk tell TMZ he has no involvement whatsoever in the film project and is currently indifferent about it. However, if the movie treads into territory that a jury already found was protected by its rights to privacy, Hulk will not hesitate to pursue legal options, which he has clearly done before. Hogan hauled in a major payday from Gorka, and it looks like he's ready to drop the legal leg drop of doom on Matt and Ben if they cross the line. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know.
I like the way he put that. I like the way he put that. He was that was kind of funny, but hey, man. R.I.P. Man, Kevin Sullivan, dude. Dungeon of Doom. You know what I'm saying? But that was crazy. Starks, yeah, man. Come to NXT. Put him in NXT for sure, though. You know what I mean? Don't put him in the main roster. Other than that, though, I'm not surprised they stealing from black kids in Africa. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not even gonna get too deep right now. Hey, get that boy subscribe. Get your man to subscribe. Peace.